This is E-Commerce Uncensored. Brought to you by Fast Forward. We're coming to you fully loaded and exposed with all the strategies and techniques for growing your e-commerce business.
Hey everyone, and thanks for joining us on another episode of E-Commerce Uncensored. This is episode number 156. My name's Kevin Manel, and I'm here with
Jason Caruso
and Paul Chu.
Didn't even ask. Are we recording, Jen? Is everything going? Are we good? Okay, good.
We're live.
Should probably ask her that before I start.
Right. So what we're going to do today, Kevin.
Yes, Jason.
So the other day we were on the phone with one of our clients, and you know, we've prided this podcast on talking about things that we go through on our agency side and kind of bringing those to our audience. And we do that because we feel like it's the most authentic, right? Instead of making shit up and then trying to figure out how to talk about it, right? So yesterday we were on the phone with one of our clients, and we were talking about how the offer is the most important thing when running Facebook ads. This is going to be a big focus of our course that we're creating, our Facebook course, is that the offer, crafting an irresistible offer that is clear, is the number one thing. And the first thing the client said was like, well, he said, well, you know, it has to be profitable though. Right? Like the price has to be profitable. And I'm like, I was kind of thrown off a little bit. I didn't know what he meant. But basically what he was saying, what he said was, he's like, isn't the offer the price? And we were like, well, kinda, but that's not the only thing that the offer is. So what we're going to do is talk a little bit about A, what an irresistible offer is, and B, what it entails. It's not just the price. The price is a part of it.
And I really like when things like this come up with our clients and even here internally, because sometimes you and I, Jason, talk a certain way and we're just like assuming that everyone around us knows what's going on inside of our heads. Because when we say offer, he was like, well, we still have to tell them what they're getting or about the product. We're like, yeah, that's the offer.
Right.
So
we'll talk about that. But before we do, we are going to be talking today about
Rakuten.
Rakuten,
your complete 3PL solution. So if you're having any issues with your current fulfillment, or you need help because you're trying to do it yourself and you just need someone to come in and partner with you to help you out, you need to check out Rakuten.
Yeah,
Rakuten Super Logistics.
Yeah, Rakuten Super Logistics is kind of like what Amazon does, right? I think it's getting out now, but you know, Amazon has multiple warehouses. So for those of you, actually any of you guys listening right now who haven't done FBA, Amazon FBA, the way it works is that when you sign up, you tell them your product, right? And then their algorithms know where the best warehouses are for that product according to where people buy in the country. So if you have a product that sells really well in the Northeast, they'll tell you to send it to New Jersey.
Right.
Because New Jersey can cover New York City. It covers like where I live up north in Orange County. And there are certain products that go to certain warehouses. And Rakuten Super Logistics actually does that exact same thing for the smaller guys.
Right. And they got 15 of these warehouses all over the country.
Yeah. So that's how, you know, that's actually the secret behind Amazon getting you your products quickly is that they're not shipping from one warehouse in Nevada or wherever they are. Right. They have these warehouses all over the place, and they know where people are buying from. And you could take advantage of that, you know, at a smaller scale with Rakuten Super Logistics.
Yeah. And you can head over to ecommerceuncensored.com/RSL. And when you sign up using promo code uncensored, you'll get a free account setup, which is a $1,500 value.
Yeah, I mean, and anybody who has changed 3PLs, you know that they don't just change you for free.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of work that goes up front that they charge.
I think that's part of the struggle when you think about the process of switching.
Right.
It's like, God, I'm going to have to go through all this shit. So that's an awesome offer. So head over to ecommerceuncensored.com/RSL and use promo code uncensored.
Right. And
Matcha. Yeah.
Matcha's another one. What's funny about Matcha is that I feel like they are probably one of the most talked about of our sponsors, like whether it's in our Facebook group, whether it's email, people are always reaching out to us about matcha. And it's interesting because it's probably the biggest problem that our clients have is content creation.
Mm-hmm.
And matcha is a blog licensing platform. They have 10,000 blogs. There are many, many different niches. Although I have seen a few crazy niches that they aren't in. I wouldn't say that that's their fault. I mean, but there are all kinds of niches out there that, you know. So if you go to getmatcha.com/uncensored,
you'll get a 14-day free trial with no credit card required, and you'll automatically qualify for 20% off their Essentials Plus and Performance package. I mean, and I also wanted to add that last time we spoke to them, they're like advancing this platform constantly. And now they're becoming this whole lead generation software, basically, where you can lock down your content and have people sign up to your email list to get access to your articles. So it's a really great way to grow your email list too.
Right, exactly.
So that is Get Matcha, which is getmatcha.com/uncensored.
Alrighty.
And then after you get a hold of Rakuten and you sign up for Matcha, sign up for our Facebook group at ecommerceuncensored.com/Facebook.
Right, exactly.
One extra step for you guys.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about crafting a irresistible offer.
Where do you start with that? Like, what's the first step?
So that's an interesting question because I've heard this term a lot. Irresistible offer. And I to be honest with you, I knew what it meant, but to be quite honest, I don't think I've ever really created one. And it's because, number one, we deal with a lot of clients that tell us exactly what their offers are going to be first. And two, never really had a reason to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But lately we have. And we've created an irresistible offer. So, you know, like we said, we were talking to our client and he was like really confused about what an irresistible offer is. He thought it was like, okay, give them the best possible price that you can give them, right?
It makes sense. Wouldn't you think the same thing, Paul? If we said it's the offer, you got to have the right offer in front of the right person, which we had podcasts in the past about that, and we always constantly come back to the fact that it's always about the offer.
Yeah, one thing that I want to say is that, you know, I see a lot of people on Facebook complaining that they can't make any sales with Facebook ads. And they think it's like the ad structure. They think it's like they're creative. They think it's like their copy. I think it's like all these things. And what we have found is that it comes down to one thing, and that is the offer. You can make everything look really nice, Paulie Chu. You can make the copy. You can hire a copywriter for $10,000 to write you a Facebook ad. You can do all those things, and those are great. But at the end of the day, if the offer is not irresistible, people are just not going to buy it. There's no copy that's going to convince them if the offer just isn't good enough.
And the offer encompasses, you know, a lot of different things. You know, it's about the messaging on the page. It's about the actual physical products that you'll present to somebody, and then how much value they're getting from you in return for their money.
Yeah, and like I almost like to think of it as like when someone sees what you're giving them and then what you're charging them is like you almost have to make them feel silly for not doing it, right? And you have to, well, first of all, let's assume that they trust your website, because that's another big part of it. Like I get emails all the time with our brand that we're partners in, and they're like, I went to the website, it looks legit. I was still a little unsure, and then like I bought it. I just got this email yesterday, and then I bought it, and all I could say is wow. So there is something to be said about looking like a real brand, right? Looking to be trusted. But I'm talking more about focusing on like, oh my God, I can't do anything until my logo is perfect. Oh my God, I can't do anything until my website is perfect. And that stuff is just not true. Like you can start, like get it out there, see what happens, see if people are buying it. But I saw this girl who was selling this email course, okay, for $37. And she basically was giving away templates to launching a product launch formula, right? So most people, when they have a product, they hear like, okay, I got to launch it. They don't know how to do it. You can tell them you got to create a sequence of emails. You got to warm up your audience, all these like buzzwords. But she was going to give that to you and say, hey, look. And she even went as far as like making the areas that you had to plug your company in, like in pink. So all you had to do is download her template. Wherever you saw pink, put your information. She would give that. She did it pretty cool. It was like on a Trello board. You could download everything. She gave all this stuff. And at the end, it was like $37. Now, somebody who's launching a product or somebody who is struggling with that, they would almost feel silly if they didn't buy it.
Yeah, it's like a no-brainer situation. You feel like you're going to miss out. And this just came up in my head is like the kinds of things that these big box stores sometimes do is like, well, they give you like these coupons, like $10 off when you buy a certain amount of money. Like my wife does this all the time. Be like, well, I have to use it.
Right.
If I don't use it, I feel like I'm losing $10.
My wife just sent that to me. If you spend $75, get 15 off. Like, okay, I guess I got to spend $75.
Right. Well, we could just save the $75 if we don't use the coupon.
Right.
But no.
Yeah, and this concept, to be quite honest, it kind of registered with me before we started working with Jared, which is our business partner,
who's coming in next week. We'll probably have a podcast with him next week.
Yes,
which will be fun.
I'm excited to meet him.
Yeah, he's a trip.
We us too.
Well, yeah, in person.
Us too, yeah. He texted me last night at like 12:30 a.m. He's like, leaving the bar.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so he's a good dude, man. So we bought this. We purchased this course from this guy named John Whiting. Excuse me, who is in the lead generation space, and he talked about when you're doing cold email outreach, like you're reaching out to people who don't know you, that you have to send them an offer that is so good that they have to respond to your email. And that's kind of where all this started with me, because he basically said, like, you have to send an email that says, look, we'll do your stuff for free. And if it doesn't work, you don't pay us $1. And he basically said, he's like, people can't turn that down. It's so irresistible. So if I sent you an email, Paul, and I was like, hey, Paul, struggling with Facebook ads, I'll do it for you. And you don't even have to pay me anything. And if it doesn't work, good luck. And if it does work, you pay me. You almost are like, yeah, it's kind of stupid if I say no.
Right.
Right? That's so good. And that's the kind of thing, that an irresistible, that's what an irresistible offer looks like. It looks like something that you almost, if you say no, you feel silly.
So is it good to have an offer that almost seems too good to be true? Like, is that the goal that people should try to?
I mean, you don't want to, I don't think you ever want to get to a point where it's so good where, it's too good to believe or too good to be true, because I think then there's some skepticism. But you can do let's for example, like you list like 300 things you're going to do and you're like, yeah, $7, you're like, right. It's just not right. There has to be a point where the price and what you're giving actually kind of connect, right? Because, here's another thing, like free plus shipping. We talk about free plus shipping. In some of the earlier episodes, we talked about it. We had some amazing success with it, but it wasn't sustainable. I don't believe in free plus shipping. I saw somebody just on Facebook posting, I had my free plus shipping on for 24 hours and I made 2,300 orders. And I'm like,
you have to have a very strong follow-up offer for that to work. And I think in what we're talking about, it's like, and we're talking about making it simple. Like, don't worry about all that stuff yet. That's the optimization part of your sales process. Get the people to buy it, and then you can work on that kind of thing, the post-purchase stuff. Yeah, but to have a free plus shipping, like after they buy, you have to have something really strong for that to be profitable for you.
Not only that, you got to be careful with the product, because we did it with a cosmetic product so that people would get it for free and then they would never use it. So they would never buy anything ever again.
We had this conversation, Paul, yesterday with another one of our clients. Is like they wanted to put, they have this extra inventory of product that they just want to throw into the box for free. So they want a promo that every time you buy a product, you get this free bottle of whatever it may be. And we said to her, we're like, that's great to get rid of product and people try it, but there has to be some kind of value attached to the product, or it's just going to like either sit on someone's shelves or go in the trash.
Yeah, and that's 100% correct. I heard you guys having that conversation yesterday, and it's true because if the perceived value is zero, you're not doing.
It's
yourself.
worthless to you.
It's worthless to
Yeah.
you. Yeah, and that's that's kind of the conundrum. Like it has to be. It has to connect, I guess. It has to have some value on it, so that people are like, okay, this is really that. Because like if you had a product like she was talking about one of her best-selling not best-selling, one of her most expensive products, right? Toki,
Right.
and she was like, the product's amazing. The product sells for like $130 something. When you start giving that away for free, people are like, why am I paying $135 for something like this?
Right.
It's there's no connection. But if you're like, look, it's $135, I'm going to give it to you for $35. You're like, okay, all right, I can see them doing something like that.
Or like outlining all the value you're getting. You're going to get this is $120, but you're going to get this, you're going to get this, you're going to get this, you're going to get
And
this.
that's an offer that worked really well for us for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. We, people like to get things for free. Everybody does. You just got to make sure you're attracting the people that are just not looking for just free shit, right? And the way you do that, because look, I like buying something. I consider myself a consumer. Like I do a lot of research, but I spend money. But I love getting free shit, right? But I'm not the kind of person that's just looking for free stuff and that's all I'm going to do. There are people like that. That's why you don't want to attract those people, right? You want to attract the people who have money, who can spend it, but also want some free stuff. Right. And we did that, like I said, for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, where we were like, look, there's $190 savings. You're going to get this. 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 Oh, and by the way, here's the product. Right. So like that perceived value of the total package, no pun intended, of the total package is so good that I just can't say no to it. And that's what we mean by the offer.
Yeah, and like being creative and thinking about how you can bring some of your other products together and, still try to be a little bit profitable on the front end, but show that this costs this much if you buy it by itself. This costs this much if you buy it by itself. But if you buy all these together, you're going to get this whole complete solution for this much money.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go in depth in this in the Facebook course that we're creating, which, anybody listening to this, if you're, 6 months ago, we didn't have our own product that was successful on Facebook, right? We did it all for clients, and we kind of had to stay in their box of what their offer was. And we 6 months ago have our own product now that is absolutely, killing it. And I'm glad, we were going to do this Facebook course, and I'm glad we waited because I feel like what we can offer now with this course today compared to what we could do like a year ago is like two different things. And I'm really excited because I feel like if you're struggling to even make one sale on Facebook, this course will fix that for you.
Yeah, it's funny because I think about like all the past episodes that we've talked about. Like, I mean, I know within the first 50 episodes of this podcast, we talked about free plus shipping a lot.
Yeah.
And how valuable we thought it was. And then after seeing the kind of people that come in that you attract, it changes that thought process. And I think that's where we're at now is like we've gone through those things.
Right. Exactly. And that's, the kind of success we're having right now. Like I tell Kevin all the time when him and I talk, I'm like, I just feel like it's just something clicked. I just get it now. You know what I mean? For whatever reason. And I just feel like we're in such a better place to help people, even people that don't have huge budgets. Because that's another misconception. It's not really the budget. It goes to it just comes down to the offer, period.
It's like, what does Russell Brunson always say? You have that, the epiphany
Right.
That's basically what's happening, I believe.
I think it is. And I think that it's fun to see. It's really cool. And I'm going to have I'm like really looking forward to seeing the kind of people we can help with this, because I think a big part of it, you know, I'm not just blowing smoke. A big part of this course is crafting the right offer and how to do it. I'm going to give examples. I'm going to show examples. I'm going to actually step through every single one of them, even our own stuff. I mean, our stuff. Yeah, I mean,
I think it's not an easy thing either. It's not going to come right away. In some cases, it will. Like the first offer you put out there, and the first message you put out there will hit. But you have to try over and over again and change different things and see how people react different ways.
What are a few tips that you? Maybe this is a more in-depth question you guys are covering in the courses, but what are a few tips of identifying that, as far as, like we're saying, what the customer maybe values? Is it through surveys or just your past customer history, or should you just try to put yourself in their shoes and just test things? What are some ways to try to get to that?
Well, it obviously it depends on your product. Some people don't have an option, right? Like there are people who have one product. I would always say, you know, it's probably best to have more than one. But, you know, Ezra Firestone talks a lot about most e-commerce companies have one offer that brings everybody in and they sell them stuff on the back end. And that's really true. I mean, if you think of every single one of our clients, even the ones that are doing 40, 50 million, they have one product that sells. And then the rest of the stuff, I mean, think about it, right? You guys know who I'm talking about. They have one product. Mm-hmm. I mean, the owner of that company is constantly pushing people to sell other stuff. But really what's working is just that one product. And they're a $40 million company. Mm-hmm. So, you know, Ezra talks about his company too. He's a $75 million company. He says he has one offer pretty much that brings people in, and then he sells them other things. So, you know, you may have to test different products to see what people are responding to. And that's another lesson I think that's learned, is that, you know, our clients sometimes feel like we can force people with our magic marketing skills to buy things that they don't want. It's just not how it works. It's the other way around. You have to find the things that they want, right? They're just not going to buy shit because you want to sell it to them.
And I think we get it a lot, is like people want to, like even the client yesterday, want to give away something with the original purchase. Like they'll say, buy this phone and get something for free. But that supplement product needs to have enough value in order to push them over the edge to buy the original product. Like you can't say, buy this $600 phone and get a free pen.
Yeah, I mean, and what's so here's like a perfect example to that, right? So our company that we're working with right now, right? The one that we're that we talk about, we reference a lot, right? So we have two products. We have a yearly subscription and we have a lifetime subscription. And the lifetime subscription gave away a free ebook valued at $97, but we were selling it at $50. And, you know, we would get a third of the sales would come to the lifetime, right? So a third would be lifetime. The other 2/3 would be the annual. Mm-hmm. I added another ebook to it that had a value of, I don't know, $50. I forgot what it was, but we're selling it for $39. Now, those sales are like 50-50. Because the perceived value of the lifetime member, when you add these two ebooks to it, they're like, wait a minute. This is the cost of the lifetime. This is the cost of these two ebooks. If I subtract those two ebooks from the lifetime membership, it's only $100 or whatever the price is. It's more than that, but whatever it is, this makes a lot of sense to me. It's irresistible to them, because if they're getting these two ebooks for free, right, and you just take that off of the lifetime membership, it's like a no-brainer. And it's literally like brought our average cart value up, along with some other things that we've done. But that's just one of them. Mm-hmm. And I think, but it's because that the value, that offer is so irresistible, they feel silly not taking it. And that's the kind of thing we're talking about, is making that so irresistible that when people see it, they're just like, it's just, even though they're 2 digital ebooks and they don't really, there's no,
Right.
it doesn't cost us anything. In their mind, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, and this other client that we were talking about yesterday with the Toki product, how they have these products that they want to give away for free, they wanted us to send an email out to their list and say, here's get a free Toki when you purchase anything else on the site. I was like, well, it's still, again, you're putting something in front of somebody that they have no idea what it is. So why not craft it in a way so that it goes with something maybe they've already purchased or something they've already showed interest in. So let's say they bought like this bone calcium product, and then when they buy that specific product, they get the Toki for free. So it's like, I'm already taking it. I'm already, going to spend the money eventually. Let me buy that now, and I'll get the free product with it.
And that's a very important thing. I mean, that's like selling a hockey stick to a football player.
Right.
It's meaningless to them.
Mm-hmm.
A hockey stick these days is $300, a really good one. You can hand that to a basketball player and he'd be like, throw it away, right? Because it's just not something he's interested in. It could be $1,000 hockey stick. He doesn't want it.
Right.
So that's a whole nother story. But yeah,
It's just crafting. It's the same thing, just
Right.
crafting it. And again, it's like not just the offer, because either way, it's the same offer. It's just the way you're presenting the offer that can make all the difference.
Right, and we're going to go into great detail with this. I mean, there's also, the products have to connect the right way. I mean, there's like a whole nother thing. I mean, if you sell them shoes, you can't. We talked about this before. You can't try to, sell them like, I don't
Microphones?
know, or a mug or something. It's like there's just no connection. But if you sell them like sneakers, and then like you sell them something to clean those sneakers,
or socks or something
or
to go along with it. Yeah.
right? Exactly, it makes much more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So,
All right, cool. That wraps it up, right?
That's it.
So Rakuten. Make sure you go check out Rakuten Super Logistics. Go over to ecommerceuncensored.com/RSL and use promo code uncensored, and you'll get a free account setup. It's a $1,500 value for new clients.
right, and if you need blogs for your emails, if you need blogs for your website, you got to go check out getmatcha.com/uncensored. Yes.
And you'll get a 14-day free trial over there, and then you'll automatically be qualified for 20% off their Essentials Plus and Performance packages.
Yes.
And then sign up and join our Facebook group at ecommerceuncensored.com/Facebook. And as always, you could check us out at ecommerceuncensored.com. Is that it?
That's it.
This has been episode 156. And we'll talk to you guys real soon.
Later.
See ya.